And today we are going to be going through power of the present moment. And I wanted to connect with you guys and talk about what we can do on our everyday moment. And in case you don't know me already, I'm Leah Riley, founder of Heartful Living today. And basically, my philosophy is that once we activate and awaken our heart energies, not only are we able to live a lighter and life full of love, but also we get to really live our ultimate purpose, right? We clear off any issues that we may have, any issues that are blocking our heart, our ultimate energy, and really getting into that life that is filled with love for yourself as well as for the others and the collective good, and being able to really live out the rest of your life in this eternal in this current 3D life that you have in the way that you design it to be. So that's the ultimate goal. So in this heart activation masterclass today, okay, we'll be talking about power of the present moment. And the present moment is really the only time that you have control over anything, right? So we can't go back and control the past, is what we always say to ourselves. But I'll touch upon that next, because there is a way we can actually do that. So then we feel hopeless all the time, right? We're going through life, we feel hopeless. We're like, okay, this is the way things are. Things have happened. This is the way I'm currently experiencing my journey right now, and not being able to move forward because you're constantly in that stuck mode and not having the systems or the strategies, which, by the way, we cover in our program. Both the healing and the coaching teaches you how to basically take hold of your ability to navigate through life, right? Navigate, control, manifest, all of that. So before we talk about the present moment and what you can do to control your present moment, we have to go back and think about who we are, okay? Who we are, what is our existence, what are we here for? Okay, it's a loaded question, and depending on how you grew up, what your influences are, and even your religion, right? The religion has a huge effect and a huge sort of conditioning or teachings that people follow throughout their life, good or bad. So whatever it is. But basically, we all are connected, right? We are all light beings, so beings of light. Okay, our beings as light beings, we are vibrating at frequencies, right? And the whole thing about manifestation is vibrating at the frequency of that you want to receive, right? So if you're constantly stressed and always reacting to things in a negative way, then that's sort of what you keep drawing towards you. And it's learning how to manage that so that, things happen, life happens, outside world happens that's out of your control or out of your intention, but you have the ability to control that, how you react and the emotions that you bring out. See, the emotions are so important because that's that heart energy that you're going to actually actualize into reality. So in talking about, that you're a light being and you came here with a purpose, we all have a certain agreement of what our purpose is in this life. And that's also affected by your agreements from your past lives and, your ancestry and past lives and things like that. And so you are ultimately coming into this world with an agreement, but we all collectively are from the one source. Okay, so keeping in mind of all those things, and that in order to understand your present moment, you also have to understand, why you came to the existence, how you are connected to the ultimate source, because you are from that ultimate source, and your past as well as your future. Okay, so I'm going to touch a little bit upon Akashic Records right now. Akashic Records is basically the library of life. It has a record of your whole entire life, your whole entire being, talking about your past lives, even right now, which you're writing, and with the potential future. Okay, so your Akashic Records not only has and contains it's almost like a huge library full of all the information possible in life, right? Up in the heavens, up in the skies, however you want to imagine it. But most people imagine it to be sort of this grand, beautiful, grand library, and your book or your life, your record is often the central one on a podium when you go visit the Akasha Records in order to correct anything in the past and also get any answers about your agreements in this lifetime and what you can do about living out your future and fixing any karmic records and things like that. So, in understanding the Akashic Records, I just want to touch upon that. It's all about your eternal life, right? So, most of the people are operating on today. Like, I'm just waking up, I'm just handling today, and they have a negative reaction to the past or positive. So, the negative would be bad things that's happened that causes their so that their brain neurons to fire certain ways that trigger certain emotions where something related to that kind of event, should it happen related to that event, they'll bring up these certain emotions, right? So that's the negative of the past. But then there's also the positive, which is like the memories that you hold and things like that. So there's the past that's sort of like lived through and written according to what you consciously think about. And then there's the present moment. Okay, your records is, you're constantly writing your records every day, every moment. Okay, and it's also about your future. So your past, now, your future, that whole entire being, that whole entire record of your life, that's your whole entire story. So it's quite important for you to get to your present moment as well. And in our program, we talk about going to past records and using the Akashic Records to correct any issues in the past in order to correct anything that you may be repeating in this lifetime. But right now, I just want to talk about the future, right? So if you continue to be a stressed being, if you continue to just serve everybody else and not take care of yourself, you're going to have certain resentments. You're going to repeat that pattern in this lifetime and in future lifetime. And then as your eternal record, that whole record about your being is going to be heavy. It's going to be perhaps darker, and you're just repeating that thing out. So it's important for you to get into the present moment. So coming back to today's topic, I know there's a lot there. There's really a lot there. But today we're just talking about the present moment and what you can do about it. But in going back to the present moment, if you're able to change your reactions and change your life record for the present moment, you are also affecting your near future, right? The rest of your day could be better, rest of the week, rest of the month, next year, next lifetime. So if you're making that forwards lighter than what you had in the past, if you hadn't already corrected any of the negative stuff in the past, then at least that front bit, right? In the moment, momentarily on the moment, not only are you happier, being able to handle things a lot better, but you're also changing that future effect, which is just going to affect everything and changes your whole entire eternal life to be one that's of lighter and more of love, right? Again, going back to the heart energy from love. So what can we do about the present moment? The present moment, the fun part about the present moment is you get to change at any time. You get to change your reactions. You get to change your outcome. This is really the only time that you can consciously affect change, right? So what I want you to do over the next week or next few days, okay, is to consciously check in with yourself. Check in with yourself on how you react to certain things. And then also, writing down when you have a negative reaction, for example, a trigger that has triggered you. And then when you're writing these down and you become conscious of it, you are basically activating your energy, activating your awareness to what things you can control in the present moment. Okay, so once you're doing that, the next step is to change the story so you can affect the change. So for example, I'm trying to think of a recent example of mine. I'll just take my kids. I have a 2-year-old and almost 4-year-old. And because the 2-year-old can, get up and walk and talk and do stuff together now, they sometimes can get a little bit more harder to handle, right? So the normal reaction, before could have been something, like more negative, yelling at them or things like that. But what does that do for the energy in the house, the energy for myself? I don't want today to be written in my records as a day that was stressful, the family environment wasn't light and love. And kids are going to be how they're going to be, right? But they also pick up on your energy, right? So instead of doing that on the moment, what you could do is, okay, you know what, I'm feeling stressed out. Check yourself on that, right? And then change that story. Then you just constantly think about, I am writing my story right now. I'm writing in my records about today. So what do I want that today to read? If it was a novel, if it was a book, what do I want that to read like, right? And just change that. Once you've done that, not only are you emotionally already shifting towards whatever you said, right? To be of more peace, joy, happiness, all these things, then you start already shifting towards that. So then the rest of your body, your muscles, everything starts controlling yourself towards that way, right? You might even talk and sound lighter and more of love. You might, walk around now. You're not so like charged up and so angry. So you're walking with more grace and patience and all of those things. So already you're shifting that, but you're also affecting the rest of your day. Again, tomorrow you won't look back yesterday as such a flustered day. And then you are preventing this pattern from repeating in the future because now you have the tools on how to control your present moment. Okay. And then there's a couple of tools. We go through a lot of tools in my program, and we do basically cover all this in the program as well. But ultimately, it's just about living a more beautiful life, right? And the present moment is the only moment you can control. So if you find that you do get angry, sometimes there are other techniques. You can do EFT tapping, and that's a tapping technique. And we show that. I do teach that in the program as well as a tool, as an extra tool that people can use to handle stresses, anxiety, even other blocks as well. Although I in the program, we do one-on-one personalized healing, energy healing to rapidly affect and clear any blocks. So EFT tapping is just another tool. There's, many different meditations and mantras that you can do as well. They're all tools, right? And you might have heard of them. You might try some of them. But here's the thing, guys. It's just action. You just got to continue doing, continue believing, okay? And take the signs that the universe, the God, Jesus, your guide, your angels are telling you, okay? They're constantly showing you the signs all the time because they know what you need. They know what you need, and you are kind of asking for it, sometimes in your silence, or sometimes, you cry to bed. When I went through difficult times with my spouse, I'd cry myself to bed, or feeling really hopeless. Those moments you're kind of asking for certain things, right? And then there's the conscious moments where you're asking for stuff. But we were shown the signs all the time. There were little subtle signs. But if we're not ready to act upon the signs, then you are going to continue repeating that pattern. Okay, life is just a repetition of pattern, and you're going to repeat that and repeat that and repeat that until you disrupt it. Okay, and actually do something about it, right? So the signs are here all the time. I mean, this video, some of the things I say today may be a sign for you to get up and act upon something to change the course of what you've already lived through and what you've always been getting, right? And hopefully, as you're aging and experiencing and getting wiser, you are getting wiser and getting faster. But the thing is, life is a repetition until you really stop in its tracks and turn it all around. Okay, so a couple of other tools. If you're angry all the time, if you're reacting to things, a quick way would be, especially for anger and stress, is to clench your wrists, okay, and just basically clench really hard and breathe, deep breath, right? It's that deep breath. Already doing the deep breath work is so important. Breath work is another method, but doing the breath work is so great already, relieves that right away. But you can try also clenching your fist, like really tight for a couple of seconds, release, clenching and release. And basically, physically, you're just, getting that energy out. You can also do other energy healings, of course. Once again, it's something that we show you in the program. As a part of self-care and something that you can do for self-healing going forward. It's all about having the tools and the strategies for the rest of your life, right? It's not just about, within the program, you're learning all this stuff and that's great. You have a beautiful, excellent 3-6 months, but then afterwards, next year or whatever, you go back to the way you are. No, this is not what I teach, and this is not what our program is all about. It's all about going to your past, clean out any baggages, clean out any issues in this lifetime, okay? Any areas at all, whether it's health, money and business related, career, relationship and love related, even finding your purpose and creativity. So it's all about finding out where you're stuck right now, right? And I find that as women, we're at least, guilty. For myself, I know that the way I was brought up, and it could have been from past lives as well, but the way I was brought up, it was always, I guess you can say it's pride, right? We're nurturers, but also there's the pride part. It's like, I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. I'm going through life, and that's okay. Okay. Life is not about going through life. Life is about understanding what your agreements are when you came to this life, and finding out what that agreement is and living out that agreement. Okay. Living out your heart, soul, purpose. And that's why it's so important to, get into the heart activation, being fully aware. Another technique, and I may have shown this already in the Masterclass series. So if you have watched that before, I know I did it with the Mother's Day meditations, but basically imagine a ball of light, right? This is some of the meditations that we do involves that. But as a quick method, just go back to center, go back to your heart, and imagine the brightest gold or white light emanating from your heart. Like shine through as wide as you can. And if you're finding difficulty doing that, if you go through our program, we basically teach you there's different steps and different things that you can do to awaken and activate your heart energy, and this is certainly one of them. But if you have difficulty doing that, it's most likely because you have a heart wall and other blockages, and you might even get into anger, like, this exercise is dumb, it's not working, blah blah blah. It works. It's so simple, and it works. But just clearing all that stuff off, you will be able to do it, right? But so even if you find that you're not feeling the light, just continue practice and doing it, okay? So those are some of the immediate things you can do on the moment to handle any stresses, handle any negative reactions to situations and events that are happening on the moment. Okay, so make sure you remember this, come back to the video and remember all the steps to do. But, you know, we have power. We have tremendous power. You have tremendous power in taking control of this lifetime, right? You taking control of this lifetime affects your future lifetimes. But if you are a parent like I am, I have 4 kids and they mean everything to me, right? As mothers, most mothers place their kids first, if not all mothers, right? Then you have to do this for yourself. You have to do this for yourself, because if you truly want them to thrive, then you doing it yourself, you are showing them techniques. You are showing them that there's hope, that there's things you can do, that they can do, and that they're not dependent on friends, peers, society, pop culture, teachers, or things like that to affect them, or even the government and world events. Teach them by showing that you are doing it, and then but also teach them the techniques that we teach in the program. Teach it to them, right? Teach them how to do it, even if they don't understand it. We do Sunday shares in my family a lot, and sometimes I'll read passages from certain things. For example, recently I went back to a book that I had purchased before about Akashic Records, and I read a couple of pages from there to them. And although this one was easier to understand because I had already talked to them so much about their present moment, their how they can affect change in their day and in their record of their life. There's certainly been some shares or some chats and talks that we've had where I just tell them, look, if it doesn't mean too much to you right now, or if you can't relate, or if the words seem too hard, or if it's too deep, or if it's too whatever it is right now, it's okay. Just listen to it. The more times you listen to it, the more it's going to make sense. And as you go through life, it's going to marry up and make sense, right? That ding, aha moment will happen. So teach it to them anyway. Okay, just show it to them anyway. And that's basically the process that I did, years and years ago. Just started telling them about heart energy, telling them about meditating, and they would just follow along with it. And a lot of the times kids are more receptive than adults are, and they learn faster. So they just go through it without any of that blockage, without any of it. What am I doing? This doesn't work. This is too woohoo, and all these kind of things, right? Which is a great thing about kids. But there's also the side that they're not perhaps as experienced or whatever, and not understanding where it relates. But it doesn't matter, because now that they have the tools, and now they've change the way they write their story now or then, at their age, the rest of their life is going to be so much easier to handle. They're still going to go through stuff. They're still going to go through their life events. That's their eternal life story, right? That's their agreement, right? But you have the power, or learn about the power and the systems in order to help them. And that's how you truly help them. It's, we can't just buy them whatever whenever they want, like all these outside factors, and just feeding them things just to shut them up or to satisfy them. We have to get within, right? And so going back and wrapping up about today's topic on getting to the present moment, the power in the present moment, just don't forget that. Okay, get into that present moment now and change how you feel. Change the rest of your day. Change the intention of the rest of your day. Okay, think about the rest of your day, and even at night you can set an intention at night as well for how you want your night to be, so you can constantly be affecting your immediate moment, but also your the next day, while you sleep, the whole entire day, the whole entire rest of the week, right? Continue setting those intentions all the time, but very important, come from the love energy from your heart. Okay, no negative thoughts, no negative feelings, feeling desperate, feeling rushed or anything like that. Just with love and gratitude, right? So that's it. Hopefully, this helps. And if you got something from it today, which I'm sure you would be able to, please hashtag heart forward, share with somebody, invite them to the closed Facebook group so we can share more. Okay, it's very important to speak up and share more. Okay, thank you for all of the ladies and moms who have direct messaged me with some questions. I will be answering them as much as I can on social media. And so check in with the Ask Me a Question post so that I can answer them for you. And if you're ready to learn more, again, you can always book a free strategy session call with me. I'll put the link here right now. It is tinyurl.com/heart activation call, capital HANC. Get on the call with me. Basically, what we do is talk about where you are in your life now. Okay. You may come to me with certain issues. Oh, I'm having relationship issues. My family environment is just really, really stressful right now. Or it might be I have this chronic headache all the time and I can't seem to move away from that and get into a healthier state. So physical, emotion, or you may just come and just have this feeling. And I was at this point myself, this third category where I just wasn't really happy, but I didn't have one large particular issue, right? It was like relationship was okay. Work is not my passion, but it's okay. It pays the rent. Anytime you have that it's okay feeling, it means it's not okay, right? Because you should be excited. You should be full of love and full of light. It is not okay. Sure, it pays the bills. Sure, you're keeping the lights on and feeding the kids. Sure, you're being able to get up and go to bed and go through life day in and day out. But again, now that you understand about your eternal life, who you are, your agreement to this life, and your Akashic records, and how you're writing the records every single day, you're just repeating that pattern cycle over and over and over if you don't do something about it. Right? So again, get on the call. We talk about, we just basically have a fun chat, right? Personal call, one-on-one call, fun chat about where you are, possible areas that we can make a shift right away. And I can give you, a couple of things that you can move on straight away. And if you're ready, we can talk about joining my program to either, really transform your life and shifting away from your status quo and into this beautiful life, right? And the thing is, it's not a drastic change, meaning if you need a drastic change, it can happen and it will happen, right? Through the healing, through the coaching, through the work that you're going to put towards it. And by the way, it's very easy work, right? You do it at your own time when you're able to, at your own pace. Okay? And it's light. The heaviest part is just getting quiet in yourself. Okay? That I cannot do for you. You have to do that work. But it's not that bad. In fact, you will feel so illuminated and elevated right afterwards, right? And the healing part of it is just so light and love, right? And have fun. So that's what it's about. So you can have a drastic change, or if you feel like, oh, drastic change seems too much for me, because people don't like that word, it can be a gradual thing. Okay. So it just depends on who you are, where you are right now, suitable to you. But again, going back to it, it's about taking the signs and taking the action. Okay. So getting to that moment, shifting the rest of your day with an intention and rewriting your record for the rest of your day, for this moment, the power of your moment, but also making that conscious decision to affect change for the rest of your life. Okay. I want you to have a beautiful life, no matter what you've gone through. Okay, I've been with women who were, sexually abused. In fact, I'm about to work with some women that are basically human traffic victims. So those are very dark, heavy topics, right? And it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter what life you have led up to at this point. What matters is who you are now and who you choose to be. Okay, so I hope you join this journey with me. We will have fun. It will be light and love. I hold so much space for my clients and for my women. I have so much love for you. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Love you.